Oh, hello. Cali grocery bags, multicam black, royal blue. Black patrol subloads. Typhon Cali grocery bags. Multicam toiletry bags. Woodland day pack side pouches, also known as the coffee day bag. Same in multicam. Day pack side pouches in multicam. Cali grocery bags in multicam black. Tool bag organizers. Multicam black iPad sleeves. These come with the double-sided Velcro to stick them inside of Velcro-lined bags. Coyote TK4 pouches. Multicam small phone / radios. These will hold all your small handy talkies. These will also hold 20-round PMags. Same thing here. 20-round PMag, small radio, belt mount, dual pistol, Fastex, belt attach, sand socks in Highlander. We have almost all colors of all of this stuff. These are just the ones that were made today. Coyote Velcro adjustable holsters, OD Velcro adjustable holsters. These work great inside your gun safe if it's carpet lined. You can also put flashlights and all kinds of other things. I actually screw them at the entry of every door, and I keep a flashlight in there and several other things in there. You can put small fire extinguishers in them too. Typhon royal blue zippered knife pouches. A lot of pillowcases going. Kirby, what's up? John Tuck, what's up? Jose, how are you? Iron Rider, what's up? Wolverine shirt, I like those things, man. The like button did a strange flashy poppy thing, huh? Every evening injectable case works for long. I saw your pictures, Crayons. I saw your pictures. That's awesome. Love Day, what's up? Web Dad, Desert Rat, Ron Most, French, what's up? Ortiz. It's not letting me see it. It's not letting me scroll down to the others. Chuck Peoples, what's up? Mallory, Kilo Bravo 6. Medical insert trays, Coyote. We have a lot of different stuff running in Typhon, different bags. My guess is it's probably like dual-handled boot bags and tool bag lights, which will be going, those are shipping items. Those are the free items for orders. Day pack today, awesome pack, right on. Got shipping on another order, very cool. Believa, what's up? IHS Deuce Volt, what's up? One of those Typhon blue thread zippered pouches is mine. It's probably yours. Then yours is probably the entire reason we even made any of them. Let's see whose name's on this tag. Fred. Fred is the name on this tag. So, if that's what you're talking about right there, reply to your email confirmation so I can make sure we have your slip, unless we're talking about something else. Don Stinson, what's up? Monterosa, what's up? Tattooed fucker, what's going on? Any plans to make more shotgun micros? There's always plans to. It's just when. It's just when, man. When I'm making shotgun micros, dudes are asking when we're running AKM4s. Philip Strother, what's up, man? Multitasker pouches, more pillowcases, more looks like Cali compliant bags in multicam. Here we have a bunch of tool bags in multicam black that we'll be sewing. Those will finish tomorrow probably. Claymore bag. I don't have the answer to that. They're batched up. Generation of the Wolverines are the last holdouts. Yeah, that's true, man. That's true. Most kids have no idea what to do without a fucking cell phone. And do we even call them cell phones anymore? Nobody talks on them. Right? Well, you should just call it a pocket computer. Looking forward to a package in transit. Right on. Saw James. He was in here today for a few minutes. Just got a Wolverine shirt. Should have gotten 3X instead of 4. I don't have any more. I think when we get to the 4, the brand of shirt changes. So the 3 is like athletic fit. I think. I could be wrong on that. It could go up to 2 maybe. And then when you get up to the 3, 4, 5, or the 4, 5, 6, or 4, 5, I don't think we do a 6 anymore. Those are non-athletic, so they hang a little looser. First time I saw Red Dawn, I was 9. Yeah, I was at the movie theater when I saw it. Kit bags, super kit bags on the floor. She says black kit, not sure if it's live. Site says black. No, I don't have any kit bags. Nor do I have any super kit bags. We had some hanging here for the longest time. Multicam Aaron large tool bags. I don't know if we have or not. Michael, I do have large clothes bags, and I have deplorable bags. I've got multicam deplorable bags. I've got a Raid, and I've got a multicam Tropic. What did I do today? I ran to Paris, picked up some lag bolts. We had the wind blow one of the chicken tractors or the rabbit tractors over, and it broke a piece of wood, which turned into it should have been a 2-minute fix. It snapped this 2x2. So I said, okay, well, I'll just unbolt the 2x2s, which were in with Torx head decking screws. So those should come out pretty easy, right? Because it's a Torx head star pattern. And I'm looking at my phone here for a second. And it didn't. The front screws screwed out, but the back ones couldn't be accessed because they weren't toe-nailed in. They were screwed through the back frame into the 2x2. And then the hinges covered that, and then the mesh covered that. So I'd have to take the whole fucking thing apart. So I rig it up, get it to work, and then I'm unscrewing this piece that holds the chain that limits the lid from flopping all the way down. And the damn head snapped off of this lag bolt. So I'm trying to find a similar lag bolt that'll work. So I'm like, well, I'll just go to Harbor Freight. There's a new Harbor Freight about 30 minutes from here. I'll go to Harbor Freight and I'll just buy a bolt kit. Well, their bolt kits all had little tiny bolts in it. So went over to Lowe's. Here's the head actually that snapped off. And I wasn't using impact tools or anything. I was literally using a socket, like a hand, like a ratchet. And it fucking busted off. So I bought a couple boxes. It's not something I use often, but I wanted to have some. So that should take care of that. Picked up another dog glue, XL size dog glue, you know, the igloo looking dog houses. How much do you guys think those cost? Just throw out a number, take a guess. What do you think those cost now? $200. $200 for a fucking plastic rotomold injection doghouse. They used to be $75. So that's the XL. So they had only one and it had a crack in the side. Chick was totally cool. She's like, I'll give you a discount on this. She rings it up $100. She's like, that still seems like too much. I go, can you come down some? She's like, sure. So I got it for $75, which will totally work because we put all the dog loos inside the kennels and the kennels are tarped. So that's perfect. But what we're setting up is so that because the dog loos don't fit through the doors of the kennel, you have to pull the kennel sides off. So this will allow us to have dog loos in every kennel. When we move dogs, we don't have to mess around doing it. So it'll literally be walking a dog from one place to another and not having to use a four-wheeler to move the thing and then tools and shit. .511 Cobra belt, Turner Sam's 85, stitching is garbage. Yeah, I haven't seen them, man. Most of the shit out there that says Cobra belt on it does not have a real Cobra buckle. It has a Chinese offshore sourced buckle on them. Multicam NSW chest rigs. Plans to open pre-orders. We're not really doing pre-order shit anymore. Like if you haven't been around, if you look at the website, it's almost all the rigs and everything are locked down. You can't order one anymore. Will we run NSWs? Yeah, I don't know when though. The real answer is you guys are running out of time. Like if you really think you need this shit, you should have already bought this shit. We're going to keep doing this, but we're not going to do it in nearly the manner we did. We have fewer employees. We work all the time. I personally myself sewed 17 hours this weekend, 17 hours this weekend. We'll still build shit, but it's going to get to a point where you send us an email like we used to do it. You send me an email, I tell you how much that price is, you say yes or no. You send the money to us, we build your shit, but you'll get your shit in a couple days. There's a when it happens price, and there's a right motherfucking now price. Large tool bags. No. Do I have any? No, I don't have any. We have tool bags. We have, what did you just say? Hey, John, any large tool bags in Multicam Black? In the future, yes. I don't know when. We're doing Multicam Black tool bags right now. Showed somebody your belt today, told him where to get it, and he offered me $100. You should have sold it to him, Rich. We do have the best zippers, and anybody could get those zippers. These are beyond mil-spec zippers. These are number 10 zippers, and we use a metal zipper pull on a nylon zipper because metal corrodes, and I don't like, the part that will break is this, and I don't want a plastic zipper pull. So we use a number 10. Mil-spec is number 8. We use the biggest zipper that you can get without going to a dry suit zipper. Oh, you know what? These might be large Multicam Black. Tool bags. Multicam, nope, these are tool bags, not large. Why don't I move closer to a city? Because I left a fucking city. Because I think a city is falling apart. We didn't have riots. We don't have crime. We don't have fucking anything. And I own property. We grow a lot of our food. I live where farmers live. Because push come to shove, if I have to choose, I don't need to do this business. I have set my life up over the last 10 years especially to where I don't have to work. Like I don't have to come to work anymore. 50% of my day is spent so that I can pay employees and they can have jobs here. I can have 0 employees come to work for 6 months and I'll have more money than I would having employees. You know, you can pull a truck out of a ditch with another truck using John's belts. We absolutely can. But beyond even that, do you guys know what an M60 main battle tank is? We lifted an M60 battle tank completely off of the ground except for the very back of the tracks. We lifted it completely off the ground with a giant fucking crane, and the only thing that was attaching was our belt. Jen Griffin, what's up? Fingers crossed. Split rig. I don't have any split rig, man. We had them. We had split front chest rigs a couple months ago, a few months ago. Heavy brass zippers on our troop tents. Very cool. A lot of stuff is just made for, they can get away with it, right? Because people that buy stuff 90% of them never use it, especially in the like the prepper space and the outdoor space. Those are collectors. They're not users. Stop and think about how many people went and bought a tent. Think about how many people bought a 4-season tent, okay? 4-season tent, a couple $1,000. How many of those people do you think used it only one time? I'll bet you 75% of the people that bought 4-season tents have only used them one time or even less. I'll bet 50% of them have never even set the tent up. Two-point slings. Paul Ross, how's your labor situation? Also, when you guys talk to me, keep in mind, I don't have a clue who you are. Like, Paul Ross, that dude could come in here and I'll recognize him every time he's here, and he's been here 20 times, and I stand and I'll give him an hour of my time to talk to him. I don't have a clue who you are on here, though. Like, so when you ask me those questions, that could give you, I could give you 20 different answers for that. It just depends who you are and what your perspective is. I have black 2-point slings and I have gray 2-point slings. I have all kinds of things like that. Me too, fat nuts. I have a lot of brand new tools, unused. Do the grocery bags have zippers? Joshua French. Grocery bags do not have zippers. The bag on the website that says grocery bag with zipper, that one has a zipper. Luke from Outdoor Gear Review got Walmart to basically admit their tents aren't for use in rain. Yeah. I like that Outdoor Gear Review channel. Amanda's upstairs getting a massage, so I am being rather quieter. Buy a 3-season tent. Decided against for some reason, and I'll probably never use it like I think I'm going to. Southern Prepper video on Faraday cages. Yeah. Read the comments though. Okay, apparently I'm back online. Can you hear me? I'm the guy that's never going to ask about longer wrench rolls ever. Like ever. I don't know. We made longer wrench rolls. What sling adapter do you like to use? Which one do Derek? What's your wife's favorite sex toy? Like, what do you like to use? It's literally like that, man. It's just personal preference. It's personal preference. The standard sling adapter will work on anything. And if you don't like it, you can put our standard sling adapter and loop it around a QD or an HK clip or a mash hook or anything else. Same for the 550 adapter. 550 and the standard adapter and the 550 adapter don't clink, they don't make noise, they don't scratch your shit up. The HK adapter, tons of guys like them, they love them, they use them. There's a spring in there that can fail. The mash hook, it can't fail, but it's fucking robust and it's fucking abrasive and it'll scratch the shit and cut things. So it's personal preference. What is up with all you guys and all the fucking paracord questions? Like, literally, I can't put a fucking video on and dudes don't ask me about paracord. I did a video while I was working today, and before I even showed fucking paracord, 20 dudes asking about paracord. You know, paracord's been around longer than any of you guys have been alive. Like, this isn't a new thing. I don't put my brands out there. I don't put that information out there because people who want to maneuver in my realm, and it's go find some dudes in this industry that'll give you any information at all, because we all view you as a competitor. I'm one of the few dudes that will even have a conversation with you about it. But what I won't do is tell you where to go buy my raw goods, because I rely on my warehouses having my raw goods. And if I tell somebody, they tell somebody else, and it's like, it just amplifies it. Plus, people who consider themselves in my industry can raise their profit margins hugely, thus being more capable of competing and operating in my realm. Money is tight right now, and believe me, everybody in this industry, every one of us wants all of your money. We don't want you to give any of your money to our competitors. We don't want you to give any of the money. Like I say it all the time, right? I'm here. James is here. We all have the same customers. I've brought in I have a lot more customers, I think, than James does at this point. Completely different people. Now, James, for a long time, said, hey, buy SOE stuff. But so did everybody else. So I try to convert my customers to be tactical response customers also. But we all had the same customers. That's why I started doing the marketing to the overland guys and marketing to different industries, because it brought new blood in. Let's say every one of you guys, let's say every client has $1,000 every year to spend. So the customer has to decide whether he's going to buy another gun, or he's going to buy bullets, or he's going to buy training, or he's going to buy medical, or he's going to buy stuff here. Believe me when I say, I want you to buy stuff here. It feeds me, it feeds my family, and it pays these employees. And more so nowadays, you guys are doing it for my employees than you are for me. I'll bet there's at least a dozen dudes on here right now out of 85 people. So why the fuck is there only 72 thumbs ups? Pull your thumb out of your asshole and hit the fucking thumbs up. But I guarantee there's at least 12 people that have been on here, that are on here right now, who have been on my property many times. Some of them I actually know, right? Some of them have just been here and they're kind of acquaintances. But there's a few dudes on here that are actual friends who have been here and spent a lot of time here. Would you say that I need to do this stuff anymore? Like, I have spent the last 10 years building my life so that I don't have to work. So at this point, all these little things we sell, this all goes to feed every person that sits on one of these sewing machines and feed their kids. And many of them, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. At least 6 of the ladies that work here are a sole income. Their husbands just don't. Their husbands are fucking shitbags and they don't work. So that's like you, when you buy my product, you feed those ladies' families. Deplorable raid bag. You'll like it. Do you have one? It's built very much like the Super Kit bag. It's not as tall, but it's longer. And what that translates to is you can put longer items in there. It's 30 inches long, but you can put items that are 32, 33, 34 inches in the bag. I think I have one of each of your slings. Each style have place on different weapon platform. Eye opening for me, single point on pump gun, fighting shotgun, open my eyes. Yeah, on a pump gun, you really do need a single point sling. How was the day? The day's good, man. I have things done that I can actually show for them. It was, I don't know, 70 degrees outside. Like t-shirt, really nice out. Got a lot of stuff done. Had a massage tonight. Good day. Tons of stuff. Tons of small stuff. And people see bags and they're like, oh, those are simple bags. The perception is skewed though. The smaller the item, the more time it takes to make. And we made We made all of this shit. Everything you see here was made today to include all of this. But I made all of these. I made all of this. And then I made this over the weekend, and then the girls just sewed the piece. So they sewed this piece to this piece, and they sew the labels on. The labels take a long time. So I do the stuff that I can run super fast because I sew a lot faster than most of the people here. So I do all the bulk of the work. So when I give them these bins of work, they're about 90% done. The neon yellow bag is a dual-handled boot bag is what I think it is. Only had a few small orders, but your shit is bomb-proof. I know I'm not a big money customer, but appreciate your gear. Thanks, dude. Thank you for your order, man. Like, thanks for your order. We have a lot of customers, and I don't know a lot of my customers. We have so many customers now that I just don't recognize the names. And a lot of guys come in here, and I'll have a conversation with them for 15, 20, 30 minutes, and then I'll see them at night, and they'll be like, man, it was nice to meet you today. But there'll be dudes that I talk to every night. Like, if you don't tell me who you are on the internet, you'd get a very different experience if I knew that we interacted on a regular basis. Got the CQB mag pouch and the pound cake pouch right on. I would work 5 minimum wage jobs before I would have my, lady work. Yeah, it's nuts. It's nuts. I think some of them just want to be with somebody. And I don't know that they started out that way, alcohol or drug involvement. Like, people here, like, especially if you come from a big city, right? If you have anything at all going on, you can come here and live well. But it's just that mentality. It's just the mentality here. Ryan Ray, what's up? In about 90 days, I will sell off the last of my dad's estate. With its value and my savings, I'll have around 100,000. What do you think might be the best investment on land? Property. The Pac-Man bag. Yeah, it's very yellow. It's very yellow. We have some patrol subloads. They're black. They are online. If you would like one, they are online and you can order it. It will ship in the morning. I have day pack side pouches in Woodland and multicam, also known as the coffee day bag. Multicam toiletry bags. Multicam black grocery bags, Cali bags. Multicam black royal blue Cali black bags. Tool bag organizers. Typhon Cali grocery bags. These have orders on them. Oh no, these are free bags. These are bags that Color Combos guys requested. I think a buddy and I are about to make an offer on 120 acres in northern Michigan. Ryan Ray, figure out if you and your buddy split up and are no longer friends, because when money's involved, that often happens. Decide right now which part of that property you get and which part he gets. That needs to be in that fucking, and you need to set up a limited liability partnership. You need an LLP. Well, you're a grown-ass man. You do what you want to do. But I'm telling you, I don't have any fucking friends who have business partnerships who are still friends. I'm not saying don't do it either. I'm saying if this, then that. If this happens, I will do this. And you guys both need that in fucking writing. Camper special. James was here today. He didn't say anything fucking negative. He didn't act like there was anything fucking wrong. They are going to Ukraine and they leave tomorrow. He was here with some dudes. He was here a few days ago. I've seen James more in the last week than I have in the last 6 months, probably. And he is very excited about going to the Ukraine. I'm in 2 LLCs and can now say partnerships suck. SOE is the gateway drug. Been buying a lot of secondhand stuff lately. Just because you can't get it otherwise. I think it's fucking very cool. And we see two things, right? When I see a dude selling off a ton of SOE shit, I usually think, what's the matter, right? So I'll put his name into my email list and see if we've had some harsh words or something. Because oftentimes it's that, right? Or I'll just post in there, hey man, I hope everything is good with you. I've seen you're selling a lot of SOE shit. And it's a false perception, right? Because we see him in one of the groups selling SOE shit. And Amanda's like, man, this dude, all he does is sell SOE shit. I go, well, all we see is him selling SOE shit, right? He also might be selling his Rolex and his car and he could have medical bills. He could have a fucking lifestyle change. A lot of things could happen, right? So it's not always correct when we go, oh, this dude's selling off all his shit. What's his problem? A lot of times it's because when he looks around his house, even though he should sell the TVs that the kids are sitting in front of, the easy solution is to sell that stuff that his wife gives him a hard time about. And the beauty of it is, it's like an investment because you can get your money back out of it. And a lot of times, dudes plan, when they see something come available that they want, they buy 2 or 3 of them. The guy will go train in one set, and he'll have another set or 2 for a friend or a spouse or whatever. But when money gets tight, he will liquidate that stuff because it holds its value. And that means my product holds its value, and that means my product is more valuable. Any crops? Thinking about a garden. So we're going to do a huge garden, Pure Evil Bandit. If you haven't seen my YouTube page, I've spent the last 3-4 weeks buying tons of raised bed troughs. I have these roller carts. I think I've got about 50 of them now. They have raised in price to $150. I just bought a bunch of 4-foot and 6-foot Tartar water troughs. We're elevating them on blocks. I just bought a whole pallet load of block. And we're going to fill it halfway with wood chips and then put soil on the top. And those will be our raised bed gardens. And we will run probably close to 100 raised bed gardens this year. I also have a greenhouse that is 16 feet wide by 50 feet. I'm looking at adding another greenhouse that is 20 feet wide by 50 feet. And then I'm collecting up a bunch of old multi-panel windows. And we're gonna build an actual glass greenhouse also. Oh, Tom, I did, man. I did get that. Yes, thank you. I think we got it like Friday or something. I just saw it yesterday. Thanks for sharing the story about your seamstresses and their life income depending on SOE. Puts things into perspective when buying. I don't say it for that. Like it's not like I don't do anything to trick you guys into buying or making you feel like you need to buy something. Like we have an event here. I just had 250 people here, and we didn't try to sell anybody anything. There was some stuff they could buy, but I don't think I ever said, hey, go in there and buy some shit. I'm not taking any money out of this. Like I don't take a penny out of the Self-Reliance Festival. None. As a matter of fact, I put money into it. And the only way we make any money on it was when guys buy product that is here. But like I don't ever try to sell my product. I don't pay any paid marketing. Like we just have, 35 years people know to buy it. What do we do about deer? I have dogs, pure evil. I have, we use fences to keep dogs in, and we use dogs to keep animals out. I have dogs. I have 2 Pyrenees, I have a Kangal, and I have a deposit on another Kangal, which will be coming around May. I've got about, well, I have all 10 acres fenced, but the dogs are in 2 separate areas. The dogs are in about a 3-acre area, and the other dog's in about a 4-acre area. Friend built a huge greenhouse with old windows and used wood. That's what I'm doing. Been looking for a way to do raised beds without breaking the bank. Small area garden, 25 by 25, and definitely need more space to make it through. So just use wood. But I mean, wood's, when COVID started, I bought a shipping container worth of wood. And that shipping container, the cost that is in the shipping container, you couldn't even fill up a small truck bed for the price now. Wood is ridiculously expensive. So if you get online, there's a ton of ways to do it. There's a ton of ways to do it. And there's no wrong way is the important thing. Welder, pour concrete on the side. You think there's a market for rough-made dumbbells, plates out of rebar and concrete. General, I wouldn't buy them, but that's not to say some dude won't. What I would say is make a few of them and put them up on Marketplace and join some of the gym groups and the garage groups and stuff like that. There were gyms in San Diego that were just like roll-up door storage units, like big storage units, like this building kind of, and they had gravel on the floor. I would assume that any gym where you can use chalk and yell, you know, powerlifting gyms and strongman gyms, I would assume that those guys would be your market. Do you talk with other companies? Philip, we don't, man. We don't. Guys come here that have companies. There was a dude here today that's got a company that builds this kind of stuff. I talk with people that come to me. I don't seek them out. I don't belong to like any trade industry groups or anything. I'm just busy doing what I do. Like I am really at the ground level. Like I sat on this sewing machine today. I don't. If they reach out to me, depending who they are and what they ask, we'll exchange information. I've had dudes reach out to me and I'm like, hey, before I give you this information, you need to give me a fucking valuable piece of information. And depending how valuable it is, depends on what my answer is going to be to you. Like you have to, after doing this for 35 years, you don't get to just come to me and me give you, hey, buy this here, right? Because I can literally tell guys where to buy Velcro and cut your Velcro price literally in half overnight. Like we buy from the place that makes the shit. And a lot of people have a perception of who makes what, and it's not always the case. Every time we let our Pyrenees roam the yard and don't watch him, he sneaks out, usually find him 5 miles. James, I have fences. I have fences that are 4 feet tall, and my dogs just don't know that they can jump. My male Kangal can literally step over a 4-foot fence. When he stands on his back legs, his head looks over the top of my 6-foot chain link fences. He can get out, he just doesn't know he can. So hot wire, and depending what your fencing looks like, just put a hot wire across the top. He'll get zapped once and that'll be the end of it. You can also use perimeter collars, which puts a unit out there, and when he gets towards, 1,000 feet from that unit in any direction, it'll ring his collar before it gives him a little shock, before it gives him a big shock. American-made machinist for parts, just wanted to HT to James. Right on, right on. And Pyrenees do, they do. The female will stay closer to home, the male will wander. Pyrenees doesn't really have enough ass for what I want to do. Pyrenees are good for, like up to coyote. You can't work fucking bears, and you can't work wolves, mountain lions. They'll fuck Pyrenees up. You better have some really big Pyrenees. And you can get Pyrenees go up to 200 pounds, and you get what you pay for with your stock. But you add an Anatolian in there, or Akbosh, or Kangal, or, you know, Turkish Mountain Dog, which a lot of them are the exact same fucking thing. But you add those in, and they're more capable. And I wanted dogs that were capable of human beings. And most of the Pyrenees I've come in contact with, they kind of are, but not enough. And we do have deer here, Pure Evil. You see them on the road dead every day, and coyotes. But the property's fenced up, and the dog keeps those deer fucking way the fuck away from any of our fence lines. I got too fat to wear my old SOE belt and let my stepson wear it. Pretty sure I'm going to have to fight him to the death to get it back. Well, the good news is it's probably easier just to get a new belt. The other good news is, here, I'll let you in on this secret right here. You don't have to have this to not be fat. All you have to do is move and control what goes in your mouth. I mean, I know that's not what this conversation is about. But as a dude that thinks of himself as a fat boy, I've made huge fucking moves in the last 3 months to be less fat. And I knew alcohol will feed fat, and I drink every night. I drink 1 margarita. I haven't had any alcohol in over 3 weeks now. And I watch greatly what I put in my mouth. When I want something to eat, I always eat meat first. If I still want some bullshit snack food or something, I'll eat an apple. If that doesn't work, then I might go ahead and eat ice cream. I say ice cream. I haven't had ice cream in probably 6 months. But there's ice cream in the freezer, and I know it's there. And by the time I ever get around to eating it, it will be so freezer burned that I'll be like, fuck, I'm not gonna eat this ice cream. But it's there in the back of my head. I know it's there. We used to have deer down here in our front pastures after we got our Great Pyrenees Anatolians. The deer disappeared. That's a good mix. You put Anatolian in there, that's a good mix. Do you still have snakes in the other building? I have no animals in the other building. All right, guys, before we get off of here, any last minute things you want to talk about? Anything you want to discuss? Any product that you want to see? Holy shit, it's warm in here compared to out there. It's nice out there. Yeah, I use it every day, Paul. I use it twice, if not 3 times a day. The beauty of having it here is that I can come out here and on a day, if something happens and I don't put the time in the gym, I can come out here 15 minutes, 3 times a day, and still get my workout in. I also have a full cardio suite up top, treadmill, AMT trainer, stepper, and a Concept 2 rower. So I usually do an hour of cardio a day, sometimes all at once, sometimes broken into 2 30-minute blocks, and then I do I do a different workout each day. I've got a couple different programs that I do. Are the subloads I showed live? Yes, unless they're not. I put them online. I think they're live. They are black patrol pouches, patrol subloads. How do you stay so positive today's society where you're the same before you were wealthy? Okay, so I'm not wealthy. I'm not wealthy. People have the perception that because I'm able to do what I want to do, I'm wealthy. Maybe I have a little bit more money than you do, but I promise you, on some days, you have more money than I do. Because I just do what I want to do. I don't ever plan it out. I don't ever figure it out. I fucking just do it. Like there are days when my bank account will be fucking negative. And on those days, I have no fucking choice but to figure it out and make my shit work, because if I don't, we're not paying the bills. Like we're out of, like, on the day I do things, Amanda fucking panics, and it's like, oh my God, what are we gonna do? It used to be that way. It's not that way anymore. She knows that if I commit, if I spend money that I don't fucking have, right? She knows that some big shit's about to happen, because that's when I act the best. That's when I fucking make shit happen. When I'm comfortable and you don't see me doing things, that's when I'm comfortable. And comfort is complacency, and that's when things slow down. The biggest thing to having a positive attitude is just to fucking think positively. And if you turn on fucking YouTube right now, and especially my YouTube for some reason, it used to be on YouTube. I could turn on YouTube, pull it up, because I'm usually, like, if I'm in the kitchen, I want something to listen to. If I'm out taking care of animals or doing work outside, I want something to listen to. If I'm sewing, I want something to listen to. Used to be I'd go to YouTube and just kind of scroll through, find something I wanted, and if there wasn't something I wanted, I would pull YouTube all the way back to the top, pull it down, and it would give me all new videos. For some reason, YouTube keeps showing me the same fucking videos over and over that I still haven't watched and don't want to watch. They are programming me. I literally, when I get up in the morning, when I go in the kitchen to make a pre-workout or whatever before I start cardio, I put my earbuds in. I'm like, okay, it's time for my programming. I literally say that, right? I have that conversation. So, like, no, that's what it is. But when you stop listening to negative shit, right? If you go on YouTube right now, if you're watching me, YouTube is going to show you, because we are friends on social media, YouTube is going to show you the things I watch, and it's going to show me the things you watch, right? They know who you are and who you communicate with. It's all negative shit. Russia, the United States wants to put nukes in Japan. Russia is putting troops in the Antarctic again, all kinds of stuff, right? Can you change anything with that? And by knowing it, are you better? And whether you realize it or not, when they tell you these things, it puts you into a state of fear, and you do not operate the same way you would have not being in fear. It's constant fight or flight. It's not good for your sleep. It's not good for your fucking health. And it's cortisol, right? So if you just fucking tune it out, if you, like, think about this, right? If you turn off social media and turn off the news and all of that shit for 2 weeks, what's going to happen? In 2 weeks, you're going to be a whole lot fucking happier for that 2 weeks. And you're going to focus on shit that is important. And what is important in your life, I call it war, within arm's reach, right? Put both your arms out. Longest finger's your middle finger. I think everybody's middle. Maybe you're a weirdo, but that's war, within arm's reach. Turn around and what's in your vision, okay? So your immediate is within arm's reach, and then your vision. Turn around, what do you see? What can you affect and what can you change? And if you can't change it, and it's not affecting you right now, it doesn't fucking go in your head. You only have so much headspace. It's like learning things, right? When you learn a lot of things and you're focused on something, people that have the ability to completely focus on one thing until they learn it, they learn a lot of shit. People that dabble, they don't learn as much shit. And I think that the more shit that's in your head, for everything you put in your head, act as though you have to lose something that's in your head. And you don't get to choose what it is. And it's never going to be the negative shit that's already in your head, the bad things that happened, or the ex, or the spouse, or whatever, right? It's only going to be, you're going to lose fucking valuable information every time you put something new in your head. So be careful what you're putting in your head. Take Facebook off your home, only look at home on the computer, stop lurk. Yeah, people get stuck, man. I get stuck, right? I talk about how I have 3 days within a day. People are like, You're like, how much do you work? Well, I work 5 days a week. I don't. I work fucking 18 days a week. What? There's not 18 days in a week. Then you're looking at it wrong. Because the average dude that goes to work for 8 hours, he doesn't work 4 hours that he's at work. The average US citizen has over 6 hours a day where usually they're stagnant. That's television, computers, whatever, right? That's not sleeping, not working, not doing things you have to do to live. 5 p.m. Sunday, the time changed. I didn't know the time changed either. I had no fucking idea until I was up in the dark making a video and my phone said something different. Stopped listening and took your stance. Asked, does it affect? It's the temperature of the water in your pool. Does it affect the temperature of the water in my pool? That's what Spirka likes to say. There are a lot of people, because people are constantly like, what do you think about Ukraine? I'm like, I think that no matter what boogeyman there is right now, that it's by design. And no matter what happens, they want one world governance, right? That's why they have to collapse the United States. Because your politicians are all corrupt and bought, and they don't give a shit about you. It's continuity of government, not continuity of citizens. It's not continuity of the public. It's continuity of government, and you're not part of it. If they caused a nuclear war, do you think they would worry about protecting you guys? Or do you think they'll be buried deeply inside a mountain someplace where it's not going to fucking matter? They want to lower the population of the entire world by 90%. So if they cause a massive war, a lot of people are going to die. How many people died in World War II? How many people died in World War I? And not even how many, look more at percentage of population. Because that's what it's going to be. It's going to be percentage of population. And the people who cause the wars, and the people that sanction the wars, and the people that are selling you the wars right now, do you think any of their children are going to go to war? You know, Germany just started the draft. Germany's taking this shit pretty seriously. Poland taking it pretty fucking seriously. Making new treaties, aligning themselves with other allies. Compulsory military service, like have to military service again. They're taking this shit pretty serious. Do you think any of the people pulling these strings, any of your politicians, do you think a fucking single one of their kids are going to fucking go to war? John, about staying positive, man. It's literally self-talk. What if it is as simple as you see this thing you want, right? Picture it, whatever it is in your head, right? Some dudes it's a red Camaro, some guys it's a fucking yellow Corvette. Some guys it's just a beautiful wife who is happy to see them when they get home. You know how much better that makes things? Somebody who's happy to see you when you get home. So picture that thing, right? And what if it literally is as simple, when you see that thing, how many of you guys go, I can't afford that? What if it really is as simple as, instead of saying I can't afford that, saying how can I afford that, when you start looking at those things, right? Stop saying you want shit if you're gonna give an excuse, right? Stop fucking negative talk. It really comes down to that. The universe, God, karma, whatever it is for you, whatever you gotta do, right? When you say negative shit, the world thinks you enjoy negative shit, and you have more negative shit coming to you. Stop negative self-talk, and stop being around motherfuckers that are negative. Politicians' kids won't go to war, but a few from Hollywood will as a morale boost. Maybe. If they go nukes, old Brandon would be at Mount Weather in the bunker in less than 50 miles from DC. Yeah, and they will take him there underground. My minimum work week is 63 hours before 10 of commute time. Imagine if you could cut the 10 down. Jaeger was here today, and we were having a conversation with 4 or 5 guys. and somebody said something about people that work here. And James said, a lot of guys, a lot of students are like, I'm going to go work for John, I'm going to work for John. And James tries to talk them out of it. I try to talk people out of it. If you haven't seen any of my Help Wanted videos, you should watch them. I think they're funny, but they're also 100% true. But before dudes come here, I try to convince them that they don't want to come here. And James said, guys are like, I'm going to go work for John. He's like, how many hours are you going to work? Like, what do you think your schedule is going to be? He's like, well, I'm going to be, I'm going to go in there, 8 to 5, 9 to 5. I'm going to work, 40 hours, a solid 40 hours a week. He goes, you know what John calls that? John calls that part-time. John calls that part-time. A lot of companies have a right-hand man, right? The dude, right? If you watch Andy Frisella, that's Sal. You watch Rob Bailey, that's Rags. Ragnar, those dudes, those are the guys within the company that are not employees, those are partners. And that's the difference. That's the difference. What IFAC do you recommend for the copper rig space? TAC Responses VOC will fit in there. So the IFAC that's on there is a compact tear-off med pouch. And when you unvelcro it, you will notice that there's 3 inches of Velcro under there. And the reason we have that is so you can Velcro it all the way in, making it small, so it'll fit over like a 4-inch dressing. Or you can Velcro it bigger, so it'll fit over any of the bigger bandages, any of the 6-inch bandages or even bigger bandages. But it'll also allow you to stack another one in there. That side pocket on the wing originally was for quick clot, and that was before they made the Z-fold flat packs, right? The slim ones. So you could really put probably 4 quick clot in there. But you can also do wound packing with H&H gauze, right? You can just use fucking 30 feet of packing, wound channel packing. So it's up to you how you load your IFAC, but everything will fit in there. Tourniquets should be outside. Tourniquets should not be inside. And that's what those 2 columns of PALS webbing on the side of that are for. They're so that you can rubber band or shock cord tourniquets on. He always jokes about how much gas they'll save working there since they'll only drive there once. James says that. I never thought I own a boat before being retired. Now I own outright a sailing yacht. Granted, had to give some tick, but made it happen, and now she's back to her glory. That's awesome, man. Dude, that's awesome. That's because, you know why? That's because you wanted it. You wanted it bad enough to say, how do I make this happen? And that's just it, right? If you really want it, you're just going to do it. When the opportunity presents itself, that's just it, right? If you truly want something, there's not a right time or a wrong time. There is the time. And when that opportunity presents itself, imagine how many just courses in life. Literally the difference between where you are and 1 tick of the second, 1 second on the clock on your watch, that 1 variation of difference because you seized the opportunity or you just tried. Do you hear that dog? That's why we don't have deer out here. Magnus, come here. Yeah, something's out there. That's why he's not coming. And that dog could be all the way at the back fence line and you'd still hear him. Lived in a van, storage unit shop without a shower for a year to build what I have. I hear you, buddy. I hear you, man. When I pulled up to the shop the first time, we rented a shop on South Coast Highway, which is the main drag in Oceanside, which ends up basically at Camp Pendleton at the main gate. I rolled up and my Blazer ran out of gas, and I was there for 30 days, and I lived in the shop. I slept on ISO mats and a poncho liner, and I ate individual MREs that I traded guys for gear for 30 days because I didn't have gas to go home. And that's 35 miles away from home, an hour away from home. A lot of factors for being successful in business. Can you tell me some of yours? Yeah, Paul. Do everything you do as though it's important. And if it's not important, don't fucking do it. If you're starting a business, everything you do goes into the business. You don't have a life. You don't fucking go hang out. You don't have fucking friends. You will also find that as you get more successful, the people you called friends are not your friends. Those were acquaintances that you wasted time with. Every fucking dollar you make goes back into your business for the first 5 years. And if you can do those things, it'll be the difference between making $100,000 a year and making millions of dollars every year. The time, the effort, the structure, and the fucking reinvestment of money back into your business. If you can do those things for 5 years, and if you get out the other end of those 5 years and you've got a female with you, marry that bitch. That's the right one. If she can stick it out, and more importantly, the women, when I was starting my business, the women who've been in my life for a long time, they knew to see me, they had to come to where I was, and they changed their lives to be part of what I was doing. Amanda changed her life to be where I was and do what I was doing. She home sewed kind of she knew how to sew some stuff. She sews clothing and shit still. But she didn't know how to run a machine like I have. And there's pictures of her sewing. She does all of the paperwork. Amanda basically does everything in the business that I do not want to do. And to be with me in the beginning, that's what that took. Because if we're going to just hook up for the night, she'd come to the shop. That's where the hookup happened at. If we were going to go out and eat, hey, I have 30 minutes, meet me here. Like that, if you get through that 5 years, that's the one keeper. And if she's not there, and then you've built something, she's going to miss out on it, don't let that bitch back. Do I keep lights out on all night? I do. So I'll show you here. And when all the COVID stuff started, we did a lot of things here. Like we believed that this might be the real thing, and the zombies were coming, you know. You were seeing people burn everybody's shit down. So that pole there's 16 of those poles on the property. The light used to just face inward. When the COVID shit started, we put up a lot more fencing. And the fencing was basically to encompass all the way around the shop. We can open any of these gates and let dogs in here that can get 360 degrees around the shop. We also put light facing outward on every single pole. So we doubled our light, and that draws directly off the power company. It comes right off of our meter. They maintain it. When the light burns out, they bring another bulb. We've also set extra poles to run power to other parts of the property. We brought in a lot of concrete blocks, big concrete blocks, like my tractor won't even lift them. Fencing, we ran more water irrigation. We set up a ton of stuff for food. And then the concern was, well, what about drought? Because when we moved here, there was a drought. People were feeding horses soybean hay because there wasn't enough water to grow the beans, and there was no hay. So that was in the back of my head. So we put in water catchment. We have a lot of we hold 3 million gallons of water in the back. We diverted all the downspouts off the front of the building. We trenched them all in underground trenching, individual pipes, and then off of the back also. So every spout off the building terminates in that pond back there. But to answer your question, yes, the lights are on all the time. Sounds like finding a unicorn. You don't find a unicorn, you create a unicorn. You make one. I've known Amanda for, 25 years probably, and we went back and forth. When I met Amanda, we would just hook up for we would just have sex. Like, she wanted to be where I was, but she had her thing going on, and I wasn't ready to have a relationship. But we went back and forth, and we broke up several times. Like, there were times where we went a couple years apart, and we just realized that we were better together. So, but you have to create that. You have to create that. If you find a woman that's into what you're into, and if she's not, she wants to be with you enough that she is willing to fucking try it. Not like sit in the truck while you go do it, but do it with you. When I had dirt bikes, Amanda had dirt bikes. Like, I bought Amanda a dirt bike. We'd go to the desert. She'd be out in the desert. We'd be going and riding or mountain biking. That's Amanda's mountain bike up there. Kayaking, Amanda wanted to kayak. Climbing, we used to go climbing all the fucking time. Indoor gyms, bouldering, multi-pitch climbs. Like, she went and started buying climbing magazines and started reading about it and knew the lingo, and we started going and doing that shit. Like, whatever it was, she was there because it was exciting, but also because it's what I was going to do, and she knew I was going to do it. And if she wanted to spend time, she was going to have to be there. So you create that. You don't find that. My ex scuttled my business because she wanted to go on vacation, and I couldn't find someone to cover it. What a learning experience. My ex scuttled my business. What do you mean? You mean you allowed her to make you shut your business down and go with her? Is that what you mean? Are there still women like that in this day and age? Yeah, you have to run through a lot of them to find them. And you won't really know what you have, right? It's like hiring an employee. An employee will tell you all the things that it takes to get the job. But 90% of them won't do what it takes to keep the job. And really what it takes to keep the job is just the things you said and did on the first day. But once they're comfortable, they stop doing that, right? How many women do you meet right now, especially like you see it all over social media right now? How many women do you meet that don't fucking look anything like they actually look? Makeup is literally, it's a mask, right? It's a mask. Do you want a woman when you wake up fucking Saturday morning, hey baby, it's 9 o'clock already. Let's get up and go get some fucking pancakes in Las Vegas, right? But you live in San Diego, so a 4-hour drive. We can be there by 1 o'clock. Let's go get some pancakes, right? Does she have to pack her shit and put makeup on and you guys leave the house in 90 minutes? Or can you leave the house and literally get in the car in 5 minutes and go? I'm not going to have a 90-minute woman. That's 90 minutes of my life that's never coming back. How many of you guys can just in the middle of the day, you're out on fucking Friday night and you're like, hey, let's drive to Chattanooga tonight, and just fucking go to Chattanooga with nothing. They have stores there, like you can buy some shit. Or do we have to plan it out, right? Imagine how much better your life would be if you would just do what you fucking wanted to do when you wanted to do it. Because Amanda had a career, right? Amanda's a hairstylist. Not like a haircutting bitch, like a hairstylist, right? $200 a head of hair 20 years ago. That's fucking $350, $400 haircuts today. Amanda was making 120 grand a year back then. It's just a question of if we do this, how much better is life going to be? Do you want to be, and I guess it's just the female's perspective, right? Well, I can do anything. I'm going to run my own shit, right? At $120,000 running and managing hair salons, and then your dude is going to have a job on par with you. And if it's not on par with you, that relationship probably isn't going to fucking last. If the man is not the fucking alpha in the relationship, that is probably not going to be a relationship that is going to last very long. So he has to be on par or fucking surpass her. And if he doesn't, She is the dominant one in the relationship. How much time are you guys really going to spend together? Why would you get married? You're never going to see each other. Rock climbing? Yeah, rock climbing, you know, bouldering, chalk bags, rubber shoes, you know, climbing. That cabinet's full of fucking climbing gear. Well, John, okay, so you don't have the business. Are you with the woman? Or did you said X? What was your business? What do you do now? What do you want to do? Do you want to work to make money, or do you just want to have money and not have to work? Because those are two different things. Like, what do you want to do? Like, what do you guys think I do? That's the real question. Like, what do you think I do for work? John, you have SOE and you make all this gear. Kind of. I kind of do. But I spend a couple hours every day shooting video of what I'm doing, and we put videos together, and we make some money here and there monetizing the videos with click-through links and Amazon links. And I garden, which makes content, but also produces food, and Amanda and I kind of do that a little. I do the gardening. Amanda does kind of the food processing. She'll go out there and like pick stuff when it's ready, but Amanda doesn't go out there and water the plants and pull bugs off. She doesn't want to do that. But we have it all here. I have 80 rabbits. Like, we have rabbits fucking everywhere. She doesn't want to go out and kill the rabbits. She doesn't want to clean the cages. But she'll take them and put them in jars and can the rabbits, right? If the power went off tomorrow, we would just farm. We would feed animals, and we would grow food, and we would just do the stuff. Like, it's all here. I consider it having meat on the hoof, right? We grow a lot of chickens, we grow a lot of ducks, we grow a lot of rabbits. That's just meat on the hoof. I can take those animals and scale them, take all those females and breed them, and have tons of fucking baby. We could, you know, breed them every week, stagger them, so that every week we have a litter of rabbits. So every week we have 5-6 rabbits coming, you know, ready to eat. And I could do that up to, you know, times 20. So it's just, these are all hobbies, right? I always was a pet guy. I always liked having animals. As a kid, I think maybe I kind of like dreamed about having a zoo, but equally as much having a landscaped. I used to go to nurseries and shit and botanical gardens with my grandmother and shit. I just loved that shit. So now I kind of have that. I kind of do some of those things. I just built everything I have that I like doing into my life. Like this gym, I can show my products and tag Hammer Strength. I can tag Arsenal Strength. I can tag Cybex. I can tag GP. I can tag Rogue Fitness with those hashtags. And anytime somebody, you know, searches those hashtags, or I make a video and tag those companies, a lot of times those companies reshare my tags and reshare my posts. And then guys see the fucking lifting straps that we make, or they see the gym bags that we make, or the tool bags that we make, or the coffee cups. Just because I use Arsenal Strength, like we know some guys over there that run Arsenal Strength. And anytime they share our stuff, or even if they don't share it, a guy looking at hashtag Arsenal Strength sees some of my shit. He's like, made in the motherfucking USA. That's pretty badass. I want one of those fucking coffee cups. So it's all just marketing. Everything that I like to do, I have figured out a way to incorporate into my business. Hear about the bird flu? Yeah, I keep hearing about the bird flu and the swine flu and the rabbit hemorrhagic fever. What are you going to do about it? Like, what are we going to do about it? Do you think maybe that's just, do you think maybe, do you think just maybe this is by design? There seems to really be an attack on you producing your own food. Bird flu hitting all over the U.S. 2.5 million chickens to be killed. That's kind of weird, huh? Because 2.5 million chickens shouldn't be outside exposed to wild birds. 2.5 million chickens are typically inside a climate-controlled, sealed building like this. So how did that happen? Thought about guinea pigs. Robert. Guinea pigs don't breed like rabbits. I've had guinea pigs. We bred guinea pigs for snake food. Guinea pigs, I know, I keep seeing it all over the place, which is probably why we're talking about it. I like the guinea pig, the hairless guinea pigs. They look like little baby hippopotamuses. Hippopotami. They're called Kavi. We did International Guinea Pig Day, right? We sent out a little toy guinea pig with recipe on how to cook guinea pig. Guinea pigs don't breed and they don't produce a litter, and you can't leave them outside to their own like you can rabbits. My rabbits in the winter, they get a thick coat. Guinea pigs don't come from the United States where it snows. So I'm not opposed to doing it. Not at all opposed to doing it. I also think it's way easier to do, and I know Cody's doing quail right now. We just got 25 Coturnix quail, the big ones. They're not even a sixth the size of a real fucking chicken. People are like, but they're easier. I get it. You live in an apartment. You're not allowed to have these. You can have quail. Nobody will know they're in your garage. I get it. The eggs are a fucking pain in the ass to peel. They're not a quarter of the size of a chicken egg. And that's what I think about the guinea pig thing. It's neat, man. You want to have some guinea pigs? And you're telling your kid, you're selling it to your wife because they're pets for the kids and it's a project, they can learn to manage it, and they're neat. But the return on investment, pound of feed to pound of protein, that's fucking quail's number one, rabbits number two, chickens number three. I live dead center Purdue and Tyson country. No chickens being killed around here, must be out west. Yeah, weird. Honeybees. We're bringing honeybees in this year. Honeybees are coming. I think we're putting 4 different hives, kind of we're taking the corners of the building and kind of setting them about 50% in if you drew a triangle on each arm. Now, of course, when the apiary guy gets here, that might change a little. Not enough shade, too much sun, whatever, but we're bringing bees in. Can't feed yourself to kill all the birds. I believe that there's something to that. I believe not that if you kill them all, you can't feed yourself. I believe there is an orchestrated, organized attack on you being able to care for yourself. All these people telling you don't eat meat, right? You got to eat the Impossible Burger. All the polls, 9 out of 10 people say the Impossible Burger, they can't tell it's not meat. Well, if it's so fucking unrecognizable, what makes you think you've even been eating meat? Well, the estrogen levels are up. Dudes are growing titties. You got girls, you have females, because only females have periods, right? No matter what you believe you are, if you don't have a vagina, you're not going to have a period. You have little girls at 9 years of age having periods because of the estrogen levels. That's what the Impossible meat is. It is soy-based. So do you think the people pushing this shit on you, do you really believe that they're eating this trash? Their kids don't eat this shit. The people that have social media companies, their kids don't even have fucking smartphones. Okay, thanks for explaining. Is that the guinea pig guy? Did you ever thought about? And Robert, buddy, I'm not at all saying don't get fucking guinea pigs. You want to start a guinea pig company? Fucking ask me any questions you want when it comes time to market, and I'll do everything I can to help you with it. It's niche. It's niche. If you had 20 guinea pigs this weekend and you had 20 rabbits, which one would you be able to sell faster? And I don't honestly know the answer to that because I don't know the guinea pig market. And worst case scenario, if you couldn't sell them for food, you could sell them for reptile food. You could sell them for cat food. You could sell them to feed raw to dogs. My dogs eat a lot of rabbit. I feed them rabbit, and I literally pull whole frozen chickens out of my freezer, and hand them to my dog. And my chickens are big. Like, we grew our chickens, you're supposed to slaughter them at 10 weeks. We ran our chickens 16 weeks. Like, when we started killing chickens, we had to stop killing them that day because when we were running them through the scalder, they wouldn't fit in the extra large chicken bags. We had to wait for turkey bags to show up to kill the rest of the birds. They wouldn't fit. And I just hand those to my dog. That's what I feed. I feed him mostly raw. Bees need full sun. There we go. And John would be the man that knows. People on low-fat diets need rabbit. They say that. So anytime you hear a dude tell you how you can't just eat rabbits, you'll have rabbit starvation. That was a study done by the United States Navy. By the way, they fed people on the ships a lot of rabbit meat. It's very high in protein, pound per pound. It has more protein than chicken, I believe is the case. It's mostly brown meat, but you'll hear rabbit starvation because rabbits don't have enough fat. You know what the simple solution to that is? I know you're not going to understand this. Wrap it in a fucking piece of bacon or cook it in bacon grease. You can get fats plenty of places. I do not foresee a situation where you're going to be in a position where you have to eat nothing but rabbit. You're going to have fats in your diet. I live dead center Purdue. Okay, I've read all of these guys. James, they're the biggest fucking chickens. You would look in that freezer. You'd look in that freezer and go, those aren't fucking chickens. And our next hurdle is, what if things get tight and you can't go to the store and buy rabbit feed or buy chicken feed, right? What are you going to feed them? And our solution, at least partial solution, is fodder trees. We're putting in 1,000 trees. They're on a slight hill, on contour of the hill at a 0% grade. So as the rain comes down, it fills the front-facing trench, and then the trees are planted on the backside on the little mound. And it's just a 4-inch deep trench. And we're planting all these trees 6 inches apart from each other on 9-foot rows. So we can run mowers down or we can run a tractor down. And we're going to let them grow up about 5.5, 6 feet. And then we're going to bush hog them down to 4-inch stumps. And what that does when you compass them down at the base like that, pollard them, it puts out shoots, right? So we're using hybrid willow, hybrid poplar, and white mulberry. But John, I don't want mulberries. It's going to attract birds and they're going to shit all over my cars. The trees never get tall enough to fruit. We're stripping the leaves off and running the stalks through a wood chipper. You can also take the stalks, cut them up, put them in your rabbit cages. They'll eat all the bark off of them. And then you can take what remains and run it through a small wood chipper and just make mulch with them. But it's the leaves you want. The protein is twice pelletized feed, the protein conversion. And you can also put a little salt and sugar, put it into big 70-gallon vats or trash bags even, contractor trash bags, and make silage that will store up to 2 years. I learned the other day from Jack, kudzu was introduced as a small-scale animal feed. It was. How'd that work out for them? I don't know why they don't take all these places that have all the crazy kudzu everywhere and just use fucking goats. Here's a question for you. When you get a cold, what do you do to get the cold away as fast as you can? Derek, my nose runs all the time. All the time. I think I've developed allergies, and I don't really treat them. I use nasal spray if I'm really stuffed up. And you know what I find, too, typically, when I'm stuffed up or when I have a cold? If I go outside and do manual labor, that shit usually goes away. I also use Claritin D every now and then when I need to. The real shit, not the bullshit Claritin, but real Claritin D that you get from a pharmacy, you show your fucking ID for. But other than that, I just fucking go. I just work with it, man. Like when I get off of here, I'll blow my nose and a ton of snot will come out of my nose. Runs all the time, and I think a lot of it is just the pills, powders, and potions that I take. You know, the pre-workouts and the stuff that I take. I think it makes my nose run, some of it. But I just deal with it, and I just don't give a fuck what people think anymore. Like at 50 years old, I'll walk out the front door and just push one of my nostrils and exhale really hard, and snot will blow out my nose. I just don't fucking care. It doesn't. I mean, I won't do it when people are standing near me, but if I need to clear my nose, I'll just walk over to the side of the building and just fucking blow my nose. Goats eat what you don't want them to. Absolutely. But if you use Premier One fencing or you use dogs and a hot wire to keep them in, there are people that have a ton of goats and they take them out and people pay them to eat up shit. But absolutely, goats eat what you don't want to. Watch the video, Chef Georgie Kawaz butcher and cook a damn ostrich. Looks so ridiculous sitting on the table. Mucinex Sudafed. So if you can get real Sudafed, I haven't seen real Sudafed, like real Sudafed. Haven't seen that shit in forever. Impossible Burger. I can't imagine what's in. Yeah, and the thing is, with all the shit that has just happened in the last couple of years, why would you even believe that what they tell you is in it? Like, you know, the beauty of eating clean food? You know what's in it. Like, you bought a fucking piece of meat. You know what's in that motherfucker. For the most part, depending where you buy it. Look into pink slime. Pink slime is basically the sludge off the floor. They add ammonia to it and some other things. And then they use it as a glue to stick smaller pieces of meat together. That's why you're not supposed to cook hamburger medium rare. You're supposed to cook it well done because there's so many facets and there can be bacteria. Whereas a whole steak, all you do is you throw it on if you put a sear on both sides of it, it kills any bacteria. But some of the lower end places take the smaller cuts of meat and glue them together as though they were one. So if you cook them medium rare, you still run the risk of getting sick. Alavert D12 is Sudafed, probably Claritin that you have to show ID for. Good information. Yeah, wasabi definitely opens my head up. You're right, Rich. Wasabi does. And I've been eating more wasabi. Like, I went for years with no wasabi, just a little bit of soy sauce, just the cheap-ass junk Kikkoman soy sauce. But I've been using a lot of wasabi. And for you guys that eat sushi and don't know, right? Don't put your soy sauce in and then try to mix your wasabi in. Also know that wasabi you're eating is not real wasabi. It's just colored horseradish. Like, you should know that. So take your wasabi, put it in the bowl first, however much you think you want. Put a couple drops of soy sauce on it, and then stir it up into a paste. And then add a little more soy sauce and stir it up, and then add the proper amount of soy sauce for your preference. If you do that, you won't ever get that hot shot where it fucking runs up your forehead, across the back of your head, and your head starts to sweat, you know? You won't ever fuck yourself up like that. Bill Gates ate some on YouTube. I believe him. He is yeah, exactly. Exactly. Pink slime is completely disgusting. If you see that once, you will never eat chicken nuggets. So you should look at how they make chicken McNuggets. Not what McDonald's tells you. You should look at the hidden videos of how they make chicken McNuggets. They have these big, like, pulverizers, these shears, and they just drop animals into it. You could drop a half a car into this motherfucker and it'll just chop it up into pieces. But they use something like that and they chop the chickens up. They chop the chickens up, guts, everything. And then they apply ammonia and it sterilizes all the intestines. They kind of wash the meat out. But you should look into this. I called every hospital in your area. I thought you were dead. I don't know what you're talking about, Mr. Greg. I noticed that your wooden work tables are well built. They're very well built. Old Man Mac built those tables. He passed away a couple years ago. And they are very well built, and they are built in a manner that they are easily duplicatable. So those are not 4x4s, they're 2x2s. And then the bracings here. And then they're screwed in through here. And I believe he probably used a pocket setter right there to put those screws in. And then you can see up top there. Can I turn the light on here somehow? Right there. I don't see how to turn I don't seem to have a light on here. I don't know why. Anyways, you can see, I think you can see, there's 3 screws there, and then there's the bracings. And then they're tied under, and then this is birch plywood on top. You can see how clean this is under here compared to the top. We've never flipped these tabletops, but they're made so that you can flip the top. Freezer full of wild boar meat. You do need to get a smoker, absolutely. JBS in Greeley, Colorado, one of the largest meat plants in the U.S. to process that stuff. Dip into wasabi, then add others. I over add good ginger. Yeah, I like ginger too. You think negotiating with gangs, cartels during shit hit the fan would be beneficial? Are you in a position where you don't have to, right? Do you have enough people when they come? Like, what if you just eliminated them right from the start? If you give them something, they will always come back for more. And the thing that they're going to want is your women. So if you've got a woman that is passive or not willing to defend herself or has a problem with extreme violence when necessary, you might want to have that conversation very soon with her. Shark skin for real wasabi, huh? All right, guys, I'm out of here. Have a good night. We'll do this again tomorrow. I put a YouTube video up, I think this morning. So if you haven't watched it, check it out. If there's anything of value or entertainment in there, send it to a friend. Post it on your social media where you can, and leave me some comments. Like and subscribe. Like, those are all free, very simple. You could do every one of those things in under 60 seconds. Leghorns for egg production and do Cornish cross for meat. Want to start with rabbits, any kind. Mark, just look up meat rabbit, Craigslist and Marketplace. There's some backyard meat rabbit groups on Facebook, which have a lot of movement in them every day. You can get a lot of knowledge there. I have Californias and I have New Zealand's, and we act as though they're the same animal and we breed them together. They look the same. One just has spots and one doesn't. And leghorns, I have some leghorns. I have a lot of birds, actually. I have a lot of different birds. Bonus to woman nobody wants. When people think about that, right? Women will be doing crazy things for security. They will be with men that they would not ordinarily be with simply because they have food and will help feed their children. So you better be able to protect them. Better be able to protect herself, and you guys better be in some fucking groups. Like, if you think that you and her are just going to hold down the fort, it's not going to work that way.